Hi everybody, it's Imari, and today we're talking about my yoga journey and why I choose to teach in the first place. And why I'm doing this video is because yesterday, July 15th, was my 6-year yoga-versary, the day that I started practicing yoga. So, let's talk about it. So I originally started yoga because I wanted to get more flexible. Also, I'm looking down because I have some notes just so I don't forget anything. Okay, maybe I should sit a little bit more upright. Cool. So 6 years ago, on July 15th, 2014, I went to my first yoga class. I had heard about it through a friend. Her name's Lauren. I went to high school with her, and she posted on her Instagram that she was taking a free week at Core Power Yoga and to hit her up if we wanted to do a class with her. So I did. It ended up being on that day. It was a Wednesday at 1:15, and I went to class. I got a little lost the first time because the place that I went was like tucked away in this like weird corner of the plaza, so it ended up being 5 minutes late, which is like pretty poor etiquette. I'm really lucky that I was still able to get in, so thanks Brittany for letting me in. The class I took was a semi-heated class, so it was heated about 90 degrees. I think that, 90 degrees. And it was the first time that I had drip sweat in any form of exercise. So, I mean, this is kind of weird, but I used to play soccer for years, like 9 years, and I was always jealous, for some reason, of the girls or the guys on my high school team or the opposite AYSO team, that they could drip sweat when they were playing soccer, and I was like, well, why can't I drip sweat? Like, what the heck is going on? And so when I was drip sweating in this yoga class, I was like, wow, like this is a sign, this is a thing that I needed to be doing. And once I hit my first Shavasana, I knew that I wanted to be a yoga teacher. I was like, if I can make people who come to my class feel as good as I do right now, then I will have done at least part of my job. So, then I just finished my free week, went every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and I'd also developed a little six-pack by the end of this free week. Kept going. A few months later, in October, they were having a teacher training, and one of the teachers that I would go to, he pulled me aside. He was like, hey, I think you should do teacher training, and I just want you to do it. I think you'd be great, blah, 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 like the normal spiel people tell you, right? And I was like, perfect. Like, I didn't even know there was teacher training coming up. I wanted to be a yoga teacher since the first class, so I was like, ooh, yeah, like, I have to talk to my parents, though, because I was 17, and my birthday was October 17th, and the training was starting on, like, the 15th or the 16th or something like that. So I asked my mom, I was like, please, can I do this teacher training? And her and my dad were like, nope, sorry, you've only been doing it for like 2 months, so we're not gonna put down $3,000 on that. So I'm actually just going to film the rest of this on my phone because both of my camera batteries are dead, unfortunately. I left off with my parents said no to the $3,000. So I was like, okay, well, then I have to save up money for the next round, which is in the following February of 2015. And so I guess unfortunately, but fortunately, I got into a car accident and my car was in pretty bad shape. So I ended up getting a lot of insurance money that was pretty much what I needed to cover the cost of it. And I ended up paying a total of $2,319 for that 200-hour certification. And then I passed. I did the teacher training, got my certificate, and over time I did more teacher training, started teaching, and then moved into the full-time teacher slot. I started also going into the management route of Core Power, so in the basic level position that was at the time studio assistant, and then getting up higher, and I ended up doing management for like 2 years, leading teacher trainings, you know, learning more about the business itself. And yeah, during that time I just really loved leading teacher trainings and kind of forming the new generation of yoga teachers. So that's kind of my basic story. Well, now I stepped out of management, obviously, at Core Power, I guess kind of just in time, before everything happened. And then went back to full-time teaching, just normal hourly instructor. And I also started my Patreon, my online yoga and movement classes. So it's not just doing yoga stuff, but it's also learning about your body and finding the most effective thing, exercise, movement that works for you. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about why I choose to teach and kind of what my goal is, what my purpose in doing all of this work is. Sorry if this is a little shaky, my hand is cramping. Okay. I teach, so I've been practicing for 6 years, a little over 6 years as of 2 days ago. And of that 6 years and completion of 5 teacher trainings, which I'll go over in a second, I did 5 teacher trainings as a student, like I paid for the training, all of that. And I still learn more about my body and like how to properly move it, functional anatomy, all of that, to create a more sustainable practice for body longevity and such. And so this whole journey has driven me to ignite other souls as a gateway to freedom, because freedom's important and we also got to do the work to get there. So I don't only just want to portray that on the mat, I want you to be inspired from your mat, from your practice, to keep doing that outside of your practice and being a better human overall. Yeah. And I guess, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just trying to change the world. No big deal. Yeah. So some certifications I've gotten over the years. I've pretty much done one training every year. So that first one was April 2015 was my completion date. I also did a yin yoga training the next year in 2016 in July. I don't remember when in July. I know it was like kind of late in the month, but I got certified in yin in 2016. Then the next year, 2017, I got certified in like a weighted yoga class. So you use weights, commonly referred to as sculpt or something like that. I did do a training in 2018. I did a 200-hour hot training. It's kind of similar to Bikram, but like a little different. Basically, it's the same thing. I didn't do any trainings in 2019, but I was leading the majority of the teacher trainings and programs during that time. So facilitating the teacher trainings. And then this year, 2020, in early May, I enrolled in a 500-hour teacher training with Jason Crandall's. So I expect myself to graduate from that by next year. I have to do the module 1 and module 3. I just completed 2 so far, so I need to do the other 2. And that's just a little bit about my yoga journey, why I teach. I kind of wanted to celebrate with you my 6-year anniversary of practicing yoga, being a part of this community, I guess. And I post videos every Tuesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Please like, comment, and if you jab, please subscribe.